Wow, has the Hyundai Elantra had a huge growth spurt in the last 5 years, and no, I'm not talking about the size of the vehicle, but the amount of sales it's getting each and every year. With the last generation Elantra, Hyundai created a very competitive compact car with its premium features, coupe-like styling, and its decent fuel efficiency. With this new generation Elantra, Hyundai looks to beef up its sales even more by having the same formula as the last generation, but making the vehicle much more refined this time around, and offering many more features. So, let's go ahead and check out this new 2017 Hyundai Elantra. Now, the styling on the new Elantra certainly has a much more chiseled appearance, and you will find that on many of Hyundai's recent vehicles, like the new Sonata as well as the Tucson as well. And it looks a little less coupe-like this time around as well, especially when you get to the rear of the vehicle. Now, I'm a big fan of the styling. I think it has a much more premium look to it, and it's not overdone in its styling. I think this generation is going to age a little bit better than the last generation one, but you can really see that Hyundai has taken some design cues from their own Genesis sedan, and it looks pretty good with the trapezoidal front grille. Now, here goes the key fob. Now, of course, you do have remote keyless entry, but Hyundai just gave me this little key right here. Now, our trim of the Elantra we have here is the SE trim level. It's the most popular trim level for the Elantra. There's the SE as well as the top of the line Limited, and it comes with these pretty good looking 16-inch alloy wheels. They don't look too conservative. Overall, pretty big fan for the wheels and the overall styling of the vehicle. This color of the vehicle is known as the mineral beige. You also do have a full-on beige cloth interior. Full manual driver's seat adjustments with manual recline as well. All right, now stepping on inside, what you will find on Hyundai's as well as Kia's newly redesigned products is that their interiors have a very simplistic design language this time around, and this is certainly what you will find on the new Elantra. A very straightforward design and very simplistic. It still does look pretty good. And you will find that this interior is a little bit roomier this time around as well. Push button ignition is available on higher end trim levels. Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability. Putting the vehicle into reverse, displays your rear view camera with guidance lines and trajectory too. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards. Automatic driver's side window. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. Now, with this new generation Elantra, Hyundai has included many more optional high-end safety technologies that weren't available in the last generation, such as lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, and blind spot detection. Now, of course, the Elantra still comes with Hyundai's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, which is one reason why Hyundai's sell so well. Coming up front, you have halogen projector beam headlights. LED daytime running lights are available on the Elantra. The new look certainly reminds me of Hyundai's own Tucson, especially on the front end of the vehicle. Now, under the hood here, we have a slightly stronger 2-liter inline 4-cylinder engine that replaces the 1.8 liter four-cylinder found in the previous Elantra produces 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque, with EPA estimates being 28 in the city and 37 on the highway. Now you can either go for a manual transmission or this 6-speed automatic like how we have here. It is also dual overhead cam. Pricing of the Elantra starts at the SE trim level, which starts at $17,150. The Limited starts at $22,350, and then there's a couple of packages you could choose from on each trim level. Now, as far as competitors go for the Elantra, you have the vehicles in the compact car class. This includes the likes of the Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, as well as the Nissan Sentra, Volkswagen Jetta, Ford Focus, Chevrolet Cruze, many competitors in this class. You have a shark fin antenna, rear window defroster, and pretty sleek looking taillights. The best-selling vehicle in this class is the Honda Civic. You also do have rear reflectors as well. Total vehicle price for our particular one is $19,785, but it has the popular equipment package, which comes with many goodies such as a rear view camera, cruise control, steering wheel mounted audio controls, and then the 7-inch touchscreen radio. Like I said, EPA estimates are 28 in the city and 37 on the highway. All of your basic power necessities: power windows, power door locks, power mirrors. Now, my biggest problem with the last generation Elantra, one of my biggest problems, was that it had a very stylish interior, but the materials were kind of cheap feeling. But that's slightly improved with this new generation Elantra here. The upper door panel is still hard to the touch, however, it's a much better plastic. It doesn't feel as chintzy or cheap. The mid-door panel is wrapped in cloth. The armrest is also soft touch too. When you get to the dashboard, it's also a nice soft touch padded material, and you would not find that on the last generation Elantra. Build quality is pretty good inside of here. No panel gaps, none of the interior trim or pieces creak a whole lot, which is a good sign of pretty good interior quality. So overall, pretty impressed with the interior quality of the new Elantra. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, love the new steering wheel design here. Love the 3-spoke design it has, pretty sporty looking for the base steering wheel. Coming over here, we have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, voice recognition, and then you have your cruise control. Like I said, adaptive cruise control is optional. And coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster, very traditional looking setup. We have your tachometer on the left, your coolant temperature, and then your fuel gauge on the right, as well as your speedometer. The font is pretty big too. When you get to the center screen, that shows you much vehicle information, such as your fuel range, and then it shows you your average fuel economy. You also do have a digital speedometer, exterior temperature readout, and then you have, it shows you what gear you're in as well, and then you have your odometer down here too. Alright, now coming to the climate controls on the Elantra, it's a very simplistic and stylish looking layout, I have to say. Over here on the left dial, we have your fan speeds. Then you have your temperatures right here, and then your front window defroster, rear window defroster, different zones, your recycling mode, and then your AC button too. Right here is where you'll find a little storage cubby, 2 12-volt power outlets, an auxiliary input, and a USB charging port. And then you have dual cup holders down here, parking brake, different driver selectable modes, which it shows you up here. You have your eco mode, and then your sport mode. An okay amount of center console storage, not too shabby. The center console lid is also nice and soft touch. Up here is where you'll find your manually dimming rearview mirror, sunglass container, and then your map lights. Visibility is okay out of this new Elantra here. I wish there was a little bit more side glass area on the front windows. Seeing out windshield is pretty easy, however. But when you get to rearward visibility, it's not the best in the class, but it has improved over the last generation Elantra, and that's thanks to it not having a sleek design like the last generation Elantra. Now, as far as seating comfort goes, the seats are very comfortable. There's a decent amount of side bolstering, and they're very supportive. Thigh support is excellent. I would certainly take this vehicle on a long road trip. Headrests are also nice and plush too. And I love how the seats don't feel too firm. All right, now coming to the infotainment system in the main head unit here. Like I said, this comes with the popular equipment package, and the popular equipment package is a very great value. It's only $800, and it comes with this 7-inch touchscreen, a rear view camera, cruise control, as well as Apple's CarPlay and Android Auto, and many more features. It's one of the best valued packages for the Elantra. Now, the responsiveness of this touchscreen is superb. It's very responsive, very intuitive, and it's one of the best head units in the business, I have to say. Now, this is your home screen here. It shows you your radio, your Apple CarPlay, or your Android Auto, and then you have your menus down below right here. Now, coming to your radio, your different radio sources include all of the norm, AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio as well, and then you have your iTunes tagging as well as HD radio. You can select your band like this if you would like to. Other media sources do include your Bluetooth streaming audio, your USB port with iPod integration, and then your auxiliary input. And then right here you have your phone. When you connect your phone to the system, it shows all of your contacts and then shows you an integrated dial pad as well. You can view your recent calls too, which is pretty nice. Then you have your Seek and Track button right here. Then your apps, your Pandora, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Quick Guide, Sirius XM data, SoundHound, voice commands. Let's go ahead and test out the voice recognition.
Please say a command.
Sirius XM.
Now listening to Sirius XM radio.
The voice recognition does pick up your voice quite well, I have to say. Coming to display right here. You can turn off the display if you would like by pressing on that button. Setup, and this is pretty much all your settings from the sound settings display. What I do love about this touchscreen here is that it kind of works like a tablet too, and when you swipe like this, it feels very natural. And then you have your phone settings that you could change, connectivity, home screen, Wi-Fi, hotspot, clock, voice recognition, language, keyboard, screensaver, all that good stuff. So if I was getting the Elantra with the SE trim level, I would certainly get the popular equipment package with this touchscreen and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. One of the best touchscreens in the business. Now, when driving the new Elantra here, the most notable difference between this generation and the last generation is certainly its ride quality. The ride is much smoother this time around and is certainly less harsh, and wind and road noise are now kept to a minimal. And the power from the 2-liter 4-cylinder is okay, but it's not the best in the business. It can use a little bit more power. The fuel efficiency is just okay too. It's just average for the class. But the ride quality is very smooth and it's very comfortable, especially at highway speeds. As far as the way the Elantra handles, it's never really been the Elantra's expertise, and it still isn't here, but it certainly does not feel numb or vague. You can feel for where this vehicle is trying to go, and it offers some kind of feedback to the driver, which is nice. Now, it's not the sports car of the compact car class. However, it's certainly competitive in the way it drives compared to the rest of the cars in this class. All right. And let's go ahead and shut down the Elantra. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Alright, now back here you will find a pretty big trunk. I have to say, the seats also do fold down 60-40 split. And to fold the rear seats, you just pull on these levers right here. A very easy mechanism. Build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. Still soft to the touch on the mid-door panel that's wrapped in cloth, and then soft to the touch on the armrest. Upper door panel remains hard touch plastic. Now sitting back here, the interior space has slightly increased for the rear seat occupants. The headroom is much better than the last generation, and there's a decent amount of leg room. However, I'm very surprised that it has a 7-inch touchscreen, a rear view camera, and all of this good stuff, but no rear seat map pockets. Pretty surprising there. But you do have cup holders back here, and no rear center armrest either. And at least the middle seat's headrest is adjustable. The seats themselves are quite firm. It's supportive. Okay for longer trips. Not too shabby back here for the most part. All right. Full manual passenger seat. Glove box compartment. So the new 2017 Hyundai Elantra may have more optional features and more technology. However, it's a much better value this time around, which is a key aspect for the Hyundai brand. On top of that, it's a much more refined vehicle. And in that regard, this makes the 2017 Hyundai